Good morning, all. Merry Christmas. And my voice just cracked. Let's see if we can get my voice coming back. Oh, that was hot. Let's try it again. Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Good morning, Teresa. How are you? Merry Christmas, darling. How is everything your way? Good morning, Cheryl. Merry Christmas. It's pouring outside. It ain't raining here, I don't think. It did last night, but I don't think it's raining this morning. Of course, I haven't been out there. So, good morning, Jarlene. How are you, darling? Merry Christmas. Hey, TT Bobby. Merry Christmas. I wish we were all actually together. We could sing Christmas carols. That would be so much fun. So, how has Santa been to y'all? Well, thank you, Charlene. How has Santa been to y'all? Hey. That's all right. I can't either. We can just do it together. I've been told I can, but I think they're just being nice. It would. It would be so much fun. Oh. I got me a cup of cocoa this morning. So, let me ask y'all. Do any of y'all know anything about cryptocurrency? Well, everybody was well. We had a good dinner. So, yes, he was good. Not a thing, huh? Well, darn it. I need somebody to know something about cryptocurrency. I don't really know nothing about it either. But I did invest $100 because I figure, well, if I lose $100, I'm not losing too awful much. But I don't want to lose that $100 either. I'll let you know how it goes. I don't know nothing about it. So we shall see. I was told it could go real good, then I was told it can go real sour. You just got to know when to do what. Well, the problem is, I don't know when to do what. So, then they've been talking about these crypto wallets and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And then you're told, well, you got to get this to burn this. And I'm like, well, how in the shit to get that? I don't know. I don't know nothing. So if you follow me, it'd be like the blind leading the blind, because I tell you, I don't know nothing. I'm trying to figure it out, but I ain't figured it out. But we shall see how it goes. Because I've heard, you can hear anything. But the best time would be get in it right now is now, because you got from now to 2030, and that it's supposed to be going like this. But they say next year, if you buy in here, you're going to be up here. I don't know. Merry Christmas, Terry or Mike. I'm sure that's Terry, because it doesn't say Mr. Homestead. Merry Christmas to you, honey. How you doing? Terry, you know anything about crypto? Or Mike? Because I don't know a blame thing. But I'm trying to learn. Because crap, it's got to be better than our dollar. Because our dollar is going to poop. This is Mike and you don't trust it. Well, I'm trying it. I'm only investing $100. If I lose $100, I've lost $100. That hurts. But if I was to invest more, it could hurt a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they had a cute picture of a dog on it, so you know I had to try it. The little dog won me over. So, and now I want one of them dogs. But I've been told those dogs can be aggressive, so I don't know. Anybody else know about a dog named Shiba Inu? So, there's a cute little dog. But if they'd have had one of a Chinese pug, I'd have bet everything I had. Because pugs are just cute. And they're sweet. And they're the best dogs you can ever have. Even though they're hard to potty train. It took me 2 years to get Biddy potty trained. She was stubborn. So what are you doing up this early this morning, Mike? You just too used to getting up? You've never had a problem? Oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, I had a Chinese pug. Her name was Biddy, and that's the reason my channel name is Biddy Boo. Because when she was little, I mean, you could hold her in the palm of your hand. She was just tiny little thing. And we had her less than 24 hours, and she was on death's door. She had parvo. And I took her to the vet, and the vet said, she was too little to put an IV in. So they just put an IV in under her skin. Your internal clock wakes you up. Anyway, they just put an IV underneath her skin on her back because her veins was too little. I went and seen her they kept her there for a week. I went and seen her every day before I went to work. Every day at lunch, I went and sat with her. Every day after I got off work, I went straight to where she was at. Finally, the veterinarian told me, he said, Dana, take her home to die because she's not going to get any better. And she only perks up when you're around. Well, of course, here I am driving down the road. I'm a-crying because my dog's going to die. And we paid $500 for this little dog. Or Rick did. It was a Christmas present. And I was a-crying, and she started licking me right here because the tears would roll down. And I thought, you're not going to die on me. So I went to the store and I bought bottles of Pedialyte. And I put the Pedialyte in my mouth and let it drip off my chin. And she'd sit there and drink that Pedialyte. It was like, okay. So 2 days later, I go to the vet. He didn't even charge me for her being there for a week, y'all. Because he said, she was going to die. Anyway, I went to the vet and I told him, I said, that puppy you told me to take home and that she's going to die? He said, yeah. I pulled her out of my pocket and put her on that table. And he stuck his hand down there. She grabbed his finger and she went to going and just running and a playing. He said, that is not the same dog. I said, yes, it is. And he said, what in the world did you do? And I told him, and he said, the only thing that saved that dog was your love for her and her love for you. So, anyway, her registered name was Itsy Bitsy Baby Brown. But when I would talk to her, I'd talk to her and I'd say, it's my baby, boo, 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 baby. Like that, and she would just go ape. So that's how she became Bitty Boo, and that's how I got my name. She passed away in 2012. So I made my channel name her name in honor of her. Good morning, Christy. Merry Christmas. But anyway, that was my Bitty Boo. But she was 12 when she passed away. But let me tell you what, now that dog, you never had to worry about worming her. Back then I smoked menthols. And if I put a cigarette out, that dog would grab that butt and just chew on it. And I told the vet, I said, well, what the heck? He said, don't worry about it. He said, she'll never have worms. But she passed away of cancer. And I have a feeling it had to do with my cigarettes. But we had a little pug. His name was Fatty. His real name was Chachi, but y'all, my husband called him a fat B word. So for the longest time, he thought his name was the same as the guy on Austin Powers. But there is a video on my channel somewhere. I'm not sure. Can't tell you which one it is because I don't know. But you could ask him how a choo-choo train went and he'd tell you. And you could tell him, I love you, and he would say, I love you back. He's doing good, but he's a pain in my... I'd rather not say. He's about to drive me crazy. I'm ready for him to go back to work. Yeah. Yeah. Love him to death, but man, I wish he'd go back to work. But he's doing real good. He did a lot better with this hip surgery than he did the last hip surgery. But they did a different type of hip on this one. And I'm thinking, shoot, I wish they'd go in and redo it and put this kind in on the other one. That way he wouldn't be complaining. So, but, you know. But he don't so much complain about this one hurting now. It's his other one that he already had replaced. But the one that the one they did before, they just drill out the bone and stick this deal in there. And it puts pressure on that bone. And Rick says it feels like it's just going to break that bone to pieces. He said it hurts. That one hurts really bad. He said this one doesn't really hurt that bad. It just hurts where the muscles are knotted up. So. The dog? I had a goat that got attacked by a mountain lion. Oh my gosh. Well, Rick don't care if I leave. Yeah, the goat was Maud. She got attacked by the mountain lion. Well, the knees are a lot worse than the hips. The doctors will tell you that because they said your knees is what holds everything together. So, yeah, Maud was her name. But Bitty Boo was a Chinese pug. Rick said she looked like Homer Simpson when I brought her home. And she kind of did. Yeah. She was so ugly, she was cute when she was little. She looked like Homer Simpson. I'll have to get my pictures that I have of her and put them up one day so y'all can see what she looked like when she was little. And then when she got grown, she wasn't near as funny looking when she got grown. But boy, when she was little, she did. She looked like Homer Simpson. Yeah, Maud was the goat that got attacked. Mimi and Peaches was the goats I gave Jason. That I think his dogs killed, but that's besides the point. I don't know what that was. So, how was y'all's Christmas going? Has Santa been good to you? We had our Christmas with the kids Saturday. But Christmas Eve, I guess you could say Christmas Eve was a little chaotic. Oh, I know those little foot smush face, but they snore. And I tell you what, I got so used to that snoring. And when I didn't have her and Fatty snoring, I couldn't sleep. So now I've got Bear, and he's 16 years old. And he gets to snoring, but now he can't see, he can't hear. He's kind of going downhill pretty fast. So I'll probably end up losing him. And then I'll just have Rick snoring, which I can't do with just Rick snoring. I can't sleep. I have to have, it's a calming deal. Bear is 16 years old now. Yep. We got him when he was 8. They think he was 8. They said that he might have been older, but he was no younger than 8. So, and Bear's a little fat boy. But anyway, what happened? There was a little excitement, I guess you could say. My son kind of lost his temper on his ex-wife. She owes him money because he's been paying on Abby's, which is not his daughter, braces, and she was supposed to be paying half of it. She has yet to pay anything on it. And it pissed him off because he didn't have the money to buy the kids anything for Christmas. So I gave him what money I had to where he could go buy the kids something for Christmas. And she was bossing him around yesterday and it pissed him off. And he had a 20-ounce Pepsi and he just squirted it all in her face and turned around and walked away. She went and filed assault charges on him. Oh, she's been cooking like crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I thought he said I could have did a. He said I wanted to do a lot worse. I said, well, I'm proud of you just squirting the 20-ounce Pepsi in her face, but I said, son, that's still assault. He said, oh, but Mama, I wanted to do so much worse. Yeah, assault the Pepsi. Yeah, I could imagine the conversation that went on at the police station. And we're talking about a lady that has hit him. And while he was driving down the road, she grabbing him by the throat and sinking her nails in his neck, trying to collapse his jugular. She's hit him with a baseball bat. She's did all sorts of crap to him, and all he's ever done, thank you, Jesus, is squirt a 20-ounce Pepsi in her face. Yeah, well, this year for Christmas, we spent $20 a piece on the grandbabies. But each household, I bought them 100 gallons worth of propane. because, well, I didn't want them getting cold. Merry Christmas. How are you, Donald? So, but I didn't want them getting cold. So that's what I did. So Christmas was kind of scarce around here. Rick and I didn't get each other nothing because we wanted it to go make sure the grandbabies stayed warm. Good morning, Jenny. Merry Christmas. But yeah, after all the abuse she did to him, the only thing he's ever done is squirt a 20-ounce Pepsi in her face. And then she goes to the cops. Stiff and sore, old and ugly, just still thank God I'm alive. Amen, brother. Uh, but I'm just trying to imagine how the conversation went with the police. And he hasn't called me back to tell me he got arrested. So I don't know. I haven't been called for bail money, so you know. It is kind of funny, but it's aggravating at the same time. Oh gosh, could you imagine the stories that the police have? You know, they got to be hilarious. But get this mess. Bub has been raising Abby for a year now without any help from Demelia. Damn it, I shouldn't have used her name. Scratch her name, okay? Don't remember that name. Anyway, that whole time, he had Lena and Abby. And that hussy was drawing food stamps on them, even during COVID. And food stamps doubled during COVID. So she was getting over $1,200 a month in food stamps. The babies didn't get crap because they were living with Bub. But she couldn't help pay for Abby's dental. And Abby's not even his child. Oh, you need to write a book. I'll be one of the first ones to read it. But I can just imagine. I can just imagine the stories that the police have to tell. And you know, some of them's got to be so funny that they're unbelievable. But you know that happened. But I told Bub, I said, just go ahead and let her go to court. I said, we'll let them know how she's been defrauding the system. I said, you might get 3 months, but I said, I'll guarantee you she'll get 10 years. And then he tells me, he said, well, you need to quit taking care of, which is her baby, her youngest. And my exact words to him was, you've proved to me that she ain't yours, and I'll quit taking care of her. But until you prove to me she ain't yours, then I won't. Morning, Abe. Merry Christmas. But then part of me is like, well, shoot, I'm attached to that baby. And she calls me Nana. And that baby didn't do no wrong. She can't help it how her mama is. So I told Bubba, I said, there ain't no sense in punishing that baby. I said, at least if she's with me, she's being taken care of. So he says, yeah, but I just don't want you doing nothing for her no more. Not the baby, the mama. So that's right. They're not at fault for what their parents do, and they can't help how their parents act. Good morning, Robert. Merry Christmas. How are you? That thing over there at the door is just a blowing. Wind must be getting up, 'cause it's sure making a rattling. Yeah, well, Abby, that oldest girl, she's been in our life since she was 1 year old, and she's 13 now. So, like I told Bub, I said, turning my back on the young one, which is the little bitty one, she's 2. I said, to me, would be the same as turning my back on Abby. And I said, I don't think I can do it. And oh, he gets mad. But, I told him, I said, son, you just think about how you feel about Abby. And I said, she's your stepdaughter. I said, you think how upset you would be if I turned my back on Abby because she's not our biological granddaughter. I said, to me, doing the baby that way is the same. Yeah, that's the same with Abby. Bubba's the only dad she's ever known. I mean, the last time she seen her biological dad, I think she's 1.5 years old. And after Bub come in the picture, he just didn't have nothing else to do with her. So, well, I have taken, oh my God, I've taken all of them in because I didn't want my grandbabies to do without their parents. But I wasn't going to support their parents either. I told them, I said, you're going to have a job. You're going to work. I said, I don't mind babysitting and I don't mind giving y'all a roof over your head. But I said, you're going to help with the victuals. And then when they started just doing stupid stuff, I just told them, I said, okay, y'all, the babies can stay, but y'all can get y'all shit and get out. Well, they took the babies with them. Because my deal is, you live under my roof and everything, you can at least help pay half the bills and half the groceries. But they wanted to do other things, so they got tired of me being in the middle of their butt, telling them I need half the bill money, half the grocery money. And they got mad and found them an apartment, and then they really struggled. So that was on them. But there, Bub's got his own place, thank God. And Amelia, dang it, I need to quit using her name. Anyway, the mother, she's living with dopers. Yep. Yeah, well, I ain't gonna use the term Rick said, but he told me to pop the you know what out of his mouth and let him stand on his own 2 feet. So, yeah. No sleep is finally getting to me. I'm getting sleepy now. So, what plans do y'all have today? Do y'all have big plans? I think we're going to go to Rick's mom's for a little while. I don't know. I don't know what time he plans on going. No family. Oh, I know, Donald. I know. Well, the girl ain't doing dope, but boy, she makes some weird decisions. And half the stuff I don't know how she comes up with it. You're cooking and your older sister's coming over. Well, that's good. But yeah, I don't know. Her way of thinking don't make no sense to me. You know what I mean? I can't comprehend what she's thinking. Of course, you probably can't comprehend what I'm thinking either. But to me, what I'm thinking makes sense. But what she's thinking don't make most sense to me. I don't know who sent a message. Oh. But I don't know. She's different, bless her heart. I tell Bubba, I said, you just got to pray for her. He says, I do. But he said, it probably ain't the right prayer. I'm like, son, I don't want to hear that. Because he just said, Mommy, remember that song, I'll pray for you? And I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus. See, Rick doesn't care for Black Rifle coffee. I got him some. He just didn't care for it. Maybe I got the wrong kind. I don't know. But I can't remember what I got. It was dark, dark roast. Oh, I know, Cheryl. I know. When they do realize it, it's usually too late. You know what I mean? I mean, the poor girl, her kids can't stand her. The only one that really likes her is the baby. And the baby don't know no different right now. And if she keeps her stuff up, the baby's going to end up hating her. And she tells Bubba, she says, well, you've turned the girls against me. He said, I didn't have to. You did. Yeah, yeah, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. But I have to admit that was a pretty good song, I'll Pray For You. That was a pretty good song. It was funny. I'll put it that way. It was a funny song. Uh, just keep the grandbabies in your prayers if you don't mind. I figure stuff's gonna get bad. But if you could just keep them in your prayers. All right, Donald. Love you, brother. Thanks for coming in. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And hopefully this whole world will get much better. I'll probably be getting off here in just a few minutes, y'all. My eyes are getting so heavy. But I did want to come on and tell everybody Merry Christmas. And I hope you have a blessed new year in case I don't see you before then. But who knows? We may bring in the new year together. if Rick ain't got the TV blaring. So, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it, y'all. Remember, the world's a better place because y'all are in it. Please never forget it. And I do love y'all, each and every one. Y'all take care. Merry Christmas.